Hey YouTube, it's Farmall 51 here. Kind of a little bit of a different video. Kind of did a little bit of landscaping here, and decided to get something I've been needing for quite a while here. I was looking at getting a Woods. Actually, I really like the Woods brand equipment, and I know there's a lot of different brands out there, and Woods is probably on your upper end as far as quality. That Land Pride, I've got a Land Pride finishing mower over there, and but I've got a Woods Bush Hog, Woods box blade, and I used to have a Woods tiller, but it was like an old knocker. So, but anyway, local Tractor Supply up here, close to where I live. I've had my eye on this one here for a while, and usually the Woods is about $2,100 or so for a brand new tiller, and like I say, the quality of the Woods is up there, and but I usually go to Tractor Supply to get, you know, odds and ends here and there, and usually Lowe's or something like that, hardware store. But they had this one up here, and they had it marked for, I think it's like $1,600 for this tiller here. It's a 4-foot wide, got the slip clutch on it, and I've just got that hung up there out of the way right now. I've got to readjust the drive shaft. I may have to cut just a little bit off of it for it to fit on the Kubota here, and it'll be about, the Kubota will have enough horsepower to handle it, but it'll be close to what it wants. But for what I'm going to do, as far as you know, a few gardens here and there, and maybe food plots, hunters and stuff like that. I've had a bunch of areas I could till up and repair, as far as seeded areas in yards and things like that. So I've been looking at getting this one here, and it's been sitting there for quite a while. And I know that I've seen the Countyline stuff. You know, it's okay. You know, it's not the best, but for me, occasional use, it'll be fine. And you know, later on, I'm gonna look into getting a Woods, but later on. But this here will do me for now. There's no use in spending that much money. But even though it's better, it's like high tran and Traveler oil, you know, the oil debate. You know, everybody's always gets everybody's panties in a wad there, fighting over oil, which, you know, there's no doubt about it. The high tran is the best, and if you can afford it, if you want to afford it. But anyway, okay. But like I say, this is a Countyline, and like they had it up there for about 16, I think it's 16 something, and it's been sitting there quite a while, and nobody's bought it, and I guess nobody has a use for this size tiller. So I went up and talked to the manager, and it's been sitting out there, and the paint's faded just a little bit, about as much as the Kubota over there. It's faded, and he had it for. I said, "What, you know, best that you could do on it?" And they knocked it down to 1,100. And I probably could have pushed him a little bit more, but I said I felt it was worth that. So $1,100, $1,179, I think, tax and all. And I just put my 85 140 oil in the gearbox, and it calls for the 00 grease that goes in it. It's sort of like pretty much the same thing as the corn head grease. And that's about the consistency of it there. It's about the consistency of the corn head grease. If any of you have dealt with that, it's like a real loose grease, real, it's almost like, you know, not to be graphic, it's, you know, it's snot basically. It's like really thick hydraulic oil or really loose grease. And in the chain drive here, and it's a chain drive model, and that kind of further downs it a little bit. The gear drives are a little better, but like the Woods are. The Woods are gear driven, but some of them, I think they have a model chain driven too. But calls for the 00 grease to go in the gearbox or the chain drive side here. And so that's what I'm getting ready to put in there, and pick some of that up from Tractor Supply there. They had that with it, so that's what it calls for. But I think I'm going to enjoy it. I've been needing something like this for a while, and for what I'm doing, it'll be fine. What's the famous Cars and Cameras saying? But it's got some pretty, like I say, some of the teeth you can see there kind of this side here was on the outside, but you can see the other teeth were up under there, and they're not rusted as bad. A little surface rust there, but got it all put together. Really no rust on it. It's just dirty as all from sitting out. And I'm probably clean it up a little bit, and got to do some greasing on it, and probably change that. I mean, take a look at that, but other than that, it'll do me for right now. And then later on I'll get me a nice woods later on, but like I say, this is for no more than I use it. But I'm kind of starting to get into more garden plots, feed plots for hunters, things like that, and I've got another thing I'm working on for the planting area. So, all right, thanks for watching.